Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to our coffee time to talk about horror. And today I finally bring you my TBR pile for the month of June.
It's coffee time!
Since June started, I have been working every day for around 12 hours, including weekends. So I have been struggling to create some content for YouTube, but the good news is work is slowing down at the moment, so it should allow me to go back to a regular schedule. At least pray for me that I don't get any more workload this week, because this is going to be a great week to catch up with YouTube and to catch up with reading. The way that I have kind of designed my June TBR pile is a little bit different than what I had originally in mind. See, first I thought, okay, when summer comes around, I'm going to read books that are like summer horror, and I have been collecting some horror books that are based in summer camps because it's something that I really enjoy. But I decided to push those books to July because the weather here in the Netherlands is not really like a summer weather vibe. Yesterday it poured rain multiple times, it was gray most of the day, and today it was also a very gray start of the day, so I don't feel like it's full summer yet, so I am reserving those books for the true summer vibes, you know, the summer weather. So this month I decided to catch up with new releases that I have been really excited about and I still have not read. I mean, some of them have just been released, so I'm not too behind, to be fair. And because I have chosen some of those new releases that are a little bit bigger books, I don't want to overwhelm myself this month either. So I am going to choose only 8 books for my TBR. Some of them are longer, and then I decided to choose some shorter ones to help compensate the balance. And I have added an extra that if I have time, I will read, otherwise it's fine. Let's start with an obvious one that is a new release that just came out at the end of May, and that is Never Flinch by Stephen King. This is the pre-order that I had at Waterstones because I wanted to make sure I got this cover and this copy, because there's also like a wide cover and I don't like the vibes of that one so much. I very much prefer this one. And if you see it up close, there is like even blood coming out of here of her chest, and it looks really nice. This is Stephen King's new horror thriller that follows Holly, and I am excited because I have hopes that this book is going to be better than the book Holly was, which you guys know I had struggled with that one because of the political and other views from the author that were being shoved down my throat way too much at the beginning of that book, and I struggled with that. However, I did enjoy the story in general and I loved the villains in that story. So these books are mostly just like your regular mystery thriller, but they're a little bit maybe more intense in the horror because it's Stephen King, but they're still, I would say, mystery thriller level. In this book, the police department receives an anonymous letter, and that letter comes from a killer. The killer is threatening the police and says, "I'm going to kill 13 innocent people and 1 guilty." So a total of 14 people. So the police doesn't know if this is just kind of like somebody taking the piss or if it's someone that is dead serious about it. However, when things do get serious, the police department decides to call in Holly for help since she's an expert. You guys know I love Stephen King. You guys know I love stories about serial killers and stuff like that. So this is exactly down my alley. Like, if I have to choose mystery thrillers to read, my favorite ones are the ones that follow a killer. Obviously, that's something that I really enjoy. So let's see if this one is good. I'm a little bit scared, not gonna lie, but it's a new Stephen King book and I need to read it. Next we have our controversial author of the month, and that is Riley Sager. This is his new book called With a Vengeance, and I just received it in the mail. It officially releases I think the 10th of June, but I got it a couple of days early. I guess here it released a little bit early, so I already have my copy and I'm very excited to read it. Now, I know not all his books are the absolute best. Some of them I have enjoyed more than others, but I have read his whole catalog, at least everything he has written under the pen name of Riley Sager. And honestly, I did enjoy his last book, even though I know a lot of people didn't. So I think still my least favorite is probably The House Across the Lake, I think, so far. But I'm really excited about this one in particular because it gives me kind of like Murder on the Orient Express, Agatha Christie vibes, and I'm here for it. It's one train, no stops, and a deadly game for survival. In 1942, 6 people destroyed Anna's family, and 12 years later, she's ready for revenge. So what she has done is she has invited these 6 people to this specific train ride. But obviously she has not disclosed who she is or why is she inviting them. She has invited them under false pretenses. So probably they got like, they won some kind of award or things like that, you know, so they don't know exactly why they're there. They will discover it once they are in the train, unable to leave. She just wants to have the people that have wronged her and her family in the same train, get them to confess and then call the police. Sweet, sweet revenge. But Anna's plan is not going to really work as she expected, because during the night, one of the passengers in this train is murdered, and this train doesn't stop anywhere, only at the end stop. So is there gonna be anybody still alive by the end of it? And who is killing people and why? Because she's the one actually that wanted revenge, but she only wanted them to confess, she didn't want to kill them. So who is killing them and why? Really excited about this one. It sounds like a really fun mystery to solve, and I don't know, I enjoy Riley Sager's writing, so I personally am excited for it. And I think like in June I'm keeping the theme of horror mystery thriller because the next book that I would like to talk to you about is Senseless by Ronald Malfi. I have been waiting to read this book for some time, and I just need to read it because I do enjoy Ronald Malfi's thrillers because they have a lot of horror in them. He does small town horror thrillers really, really well. I love his characters, and this one also involves vampires as far as I know. I don't know to which capacity, I don't know if it's just one character or we have a whole family of vampires or what's going on, but vampires, mystery thriller, horror, Ronald Malfi. I need to read it. I also have this beautiful copy from the Abominable book box, and it is gorgeous. So I'm gonna be reading this one as well, which is also quite chunky, so this is why I had to balance out with shorter books. The mutilated body of a young woman is found in the desert in the outskirts of LA, and the police realized that the modus operandi of this murder is very similar to a case that they had a year prior. The media jumps to conclusions and start to say, oh, there's probably a serial killer on the loose, and Detective Bill is the guy in charge of figuring out what's going on. I believe this book follows 2 or 3 different storylines that they kind of combine and merge with each other, which is something that if it's done right, I really, really enjoy. So I'm also super duper excited about this one. So the first 3 books that I have talked about are horror mystery thrillers, not like pure horror, but are 3 books I'm really excited about, and they were all released this year. The Riley Sager book just released, so I'm really excited and pumped for the month of June. In order to compensate those 3 kind of chunkier books, I decided to finally read The Prom Queen by Earl Stein. This is a Fear Street book, and I finally managed to get a copy and not kind of empty my bank account, because a lot of people are asking for a lot of money for this book. So I got this copy and I wanted to read it and then watch the movie, but the movie came out, I was not ready. I still have not watched the movie because I would like to do either a video comparing book and movie or a reading vlog with the book and the movie. We shall see which one I can do, but I would like to do that because I would love to read a book and then watch the movie back to back. It's something that brings me joy. I love to see the differences. I enjoy it, okay? So now that I have the book and I have the time in June because workload is going down, I'm gonna be able to do it, and I'm really, really excited. I have stayed spoiler free. I have not seen any reviews, any clips, nothing, zero, nada, zilch. So I'm just gonna dive into it in June. All I know is that there are some prom candidates, I think, to Prom Queen, and they are getting killed, I believe, one by one. So who is killing the prom queens? I mean, it is a Fear Street book, so you know kind of what to expect. But I'm really excited what they did with the movie, since it's also a very different director from the one that was responsible for movies 1 to 3 that came out a couple years ago. So I would like to see how the tone, maybe it's different. I will report back. Then I'm gonna listen to an audiobook, and it is called I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jamieson Shee. And this one came out a couple of years ago, I think 2023. It is a YA horror, and I've had this audiobook saved on my list for a while, and I think it's time because it sounds really interesting, and I wanted to read it already when it was released and I didn't. So now that I have the audiobook, I think that it's time. Our main character here is a perfectionist, and you have to be when you are a ballerina. So she is in Paris, and the elite world of ballet is very cutthroat, but she wants to prove that she can be the center main focus of the ballet as a black girl. So much so that she goes to the catacombs one day and she finds a river of blood there, and she hears, I think, a voice that tells her, like, promises her success and this and that, and I don't know if she makes a deal or what, but obviously nothing is for free. We all know these things come with a cost, so I'm really excited to see her kind of like success and then her descent. Now in June I decided that I also wanted to read a middle grade because it has been a little bit since I read a middle grade, except my Shira Point reading blog. So I have a book by Phil Hikes, who did the Evelyn Jones series, and I've had it for a year. The second book is already out and I still have not started the new series, and I thought it's about time. And that is Shadow Hall Academy. So this is The Whispering Walls, and it is the first book in the series. The second book was just released in February 2025. I mean, look at it. You see the cover and you're like, I want to read this book. We follow Lillian Jones, that is starting as a new student at this school. She's a little bit nervous. She doesn't know if she's going to be able to make friends, but actually that should be the least of her worries because there is something hunting the place, maybe ghosts, and weird things start to happen. There are mysterious figures that appear in the middle of the night, so obviously she and her new friends are going to try and investigate and see what's going on in the halls of this school. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I really enjoyed the Evelyn Jones middle grade series by the author, so I need to get to this one. Then I decided to add a novella and a short story to my TBR as well. The first one is Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy because I really like his books, and this is a novella that I have on my Kindle and I still haven't got to it, so I kind of have to. This follows a young musician that finds himself locked at the bathroom in a gas station. It is the middle of the night and he doesn't know what to do because he knows if he leaves the bathroom, there is probably something much worse on the other side, something that is coming to get him. I don't know what to expect from Nat Cassidy because it's always wild and bonkers and you never know what you're gonna get. But I really want to read it. I really want to. The other one is The Doll's House by Lisa Unger, and I was recommended this author before, but I've never read her stories, and I have also this story on my Kindle that's been there waiting for me, and I think now it's the time. A widowed mother that is willing now to give love another chance decides to move with her now fiance to his house with her daughter, and I'm guessing the house is probably, you know, keeping secrets. I think the main character's daughter is a little bit against this new relationship because obviously she wants to keep her father's memory alive, and when she goes into the house she finds an old doll, and she gets to keep the doll, and I don't know which kind of secrets the doll has but creepy dolls are something that I really enjoy, so hopefully that's kind of like the way this story is gonna go, but we shall see. And if I have time, which honestly I probably will not get to this book on time, I will check out the new V.E. Schwab release. It is called Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil, and I say probably not gonna happen because this book is almost 600 pages long, and that is a lot. That is a big commitment, but for V. Schwab I'm willing to do it. Now this one is more fantasy than horror, but it is fantasy vampires horror, and all I know is that it follows 3 different timelines, completely different, in different cities, in different part of the world. One is in London, one is in Boston, I think the other one is somewhere in Colombia, and also different time periods, and it follows 3 different women. So I'm guessing The vampires obviously are going to be involved in all of these 3 different stories. I really like how V. Schwab writes her characters. I think still my favorite book by her is probably Vicious, but obviously V. Schwab and vampires is something that I needed to have. I do have my pre-order done and it should be still delivered to me in the month of June, but I'm guessing I'm not gonna have time to it, not just because I have many other things to read, but because this book is almost 600 pages. But we shall see. Maybe I surprise myself and I manage to read absolutely everything. We shall see. I'll report back. Alright you guys, so these were all the books that I plan to read in the month of June. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below, what are you planning to read in the month of June? Are you excited for any new releases that are coming out this month? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching and having so much patience with me now that I don't have so much time to upload. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!